that's there. All right, so we got the DDR. So this is your key to everything.
Right.
So make sure it's set up properly, and then you're going to be using that information to complete other stuff.
Right.
So just always make sure that's right. All right, so first thing, start the date. And it should match whatever tab you're in too.
Yep.
So like I said, this is what you're supposed to have. These are your cash deposits, credit card deposits down here. And then if you're ever off, it'll be over here. So, all right, so the first thing, we're gonna start pulling credit cards. So IQ is where we actually see the physical deposits. So, so once you get logged in here, oh, hold on. All right, so the first thing you go to is reports, and then you're always going to pull the next day that you want. So we're trying to get the 8th, so you're going to put in the 9th, and that's because it settles at 4:30 the next day. So once you're in here, just make sure this is the 9th, and then I've got 2 days to do, so I'm going to pull the next day as well. So first thing you're going to do is we're going to pull Washington Street garages. Hit select, and then get reports, and then you want this MD 600. So I'm gonna grab both days here, download. All right, and you just go up here, switch to White River. If we ever use the little red credit card machines, that's the top one there. So get reports, and the same thing. We'll be grabbing the MD 600. Okay, and then give it a few minutes, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then when you hit files, you should see it up here.
Cool.
I pulled some earlier today. That's why you got the 11th at 12:07. So, yep. While that's loading, we're actually going to pull the machine reports.
Okay.
So this is OPUS.
Yep.
Yeah. Whenever if you need to run a sale online or pull the machines or anything like that, you're going to do it on here. So you're going to go to reports. And then the first one, transactions here. So you put in the date, and since the processor settles at 4:30, we're going to be pulling it from 4:30 a.m. to the next day, 4:29 a.m.
Hey, I'm learning this new computer program. I'll call you back here in a few minutes. I said I'm learning this new computer program for my when I switch over to the new company. So let me call you back here in a few minutes. All right, bye.
Okay. So once you pull that report, you're going to want to make sure all the LK numbers are in order. So you just sort it by that, and then you're good to go. So then we're going to put this in Excel. And once that's done, all you gotta do is extend this, and it should be grouped by location. The only time it's not is if we run the tablets. You're gonna have the Senate Garage. One of their machines will be kind of split up, but
So
for the most part, huh?
How do you tell which is what?
Let's see if I still have that up. I don't. Just give it a second. Can you grab the mail real quick? Alrighty. So yep. So I can send you this file, or if you got the video, you can just pause it on here. But yep. So all the terminal ID numbers are going to be here. You kind of just have to memorize like the last 3.
Okay.
But yeah, for the first, however a month or so, you'll probably be going off this list. So it'll get kind of seared into your brain. So, but yep. So luckily, like I said, this report for the most part fits all the garages together.
Cool.
So the first thing we're going to do, put these up here. And this doesn't really matter. This is more for corporate because they're the only ones that look at this. But I kind of color coded just to make it a little easier on them. So don't. Hello?
Hi, mate. It won't like
Where you at?
I'm at the flat lot on Capitol and something.
There you go.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, if it doesn't say WSG help, just don't answer it. So.
Well, it said WSG help.
I know, but I'm saying if it doesn't, it's the phones. Yeah, I can just call them back. Okay, so after you've color coded that, it's gonna kind of go in order of that when you're doing it. So this goes down to 15 here. These are Washington. These two are Senate. And then down to here is the North lot. And then the rest are White River. So yeah, it should always go in that order. So, all right. So next thing is adding everything up. Goes that. Let me go back to the DDR here. Oh, let's just finish this real quick. Some these. And then this equals. You just got to be careful if it says like return or decline or anything like that. Make sure you don't add that. Yeah, so you got decline down here, so we're going to skip that. We're going to skip the. What the fuck? Let's start that over. I don't. Excel, you okay? Excel. Something broke. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back. So, yeah, like I said, you're fine with all these no charge. Like I said, it's zeros. So, but yeah, decline. We're going to skip that. We're going to skip the return. Skip those declines. Skip the host timeout. The only tricky thing is if you run into a void, you're gonna have to skip that and then an equal amount as well. So basically, yeah, there was a transaction ran that day, then it got refunded that day. So it's a void instead of a refund, really, because you're just kind of canceling that transaction before it gets processed. Okay. So yeah, just make sure if it's a void, skip it and an equally matching one. You can match it up with a credit card if you really wanted to, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just easier that way. So once we got this, we can go ahead and plug in our numbers. So we got 260 Washington. We got 10%. I already know that's 1. North lot is 40. And White River is 765. All right. Now we got to figure out how many transactions there were. So North lot's easy. There's 2 there. The easiest thing for Washington Street, you're going to take whatever number's the last one, add 1 to it, so that's 17, and then you're going to subtract 4, so that's 13. So there are times where you're going to have hundreds of transactions, so that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah. If you ever have like declines or voids or all that, obviously you're going to subtract those out as well. And voids, you're going to do it twice, just like for the amount. So here, we got 106, add 1, so you got 107. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Subtract 10, and then you're going to subtract 23. So that gives us 74. Alrighty, so that should be good. Like, so you just got to make sure the IQ reports or the actual credit card deposits match those.
And so then, if there was a event money or credit cards, it would go there.
Right. So if this had tablets,
you would just add the next.
Yeah, I would. Okay, that'd be its own thing. So that's, you actually put that down here. This is where event credit card money goes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
bank
what does that
credit.
event count up top mean? Nothing. Just don't mess with it.
So this will be your total. So say you had 1,000 out of 100 transactions, so it's $10 a piece.
Right.
So you would match that with your cash. So say we'll just make it easy, 500 cash, and then 500 for a big credit
okay.
card.
So that's just the total
Right.
amount from these two down here.
It doesn't. That doesn't mean this should equal these unless everything's spot on.
Right. It could be different.
Yeah. So say someone was $20 short in cash, but right on credit card, you're gonna see that reflected here once I plug in the 260 down here. So yeah, we can get to that a little bit later. Oh, you're fine. Okay, so the next thing we do, by this time, our IQ reports should be good to go. Create a file. Oh, you gotta refresh it. Files. Yeah, we got our forward pulled. Oh, that's actually White Rivers. So this is Washington here. And then we want the 8th, but it's gonna say the 9th here. So we got 300. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, we had those refunds we got to plug into. All right. So we had a refund at Senate. So we gotta make sure we go to Senate. And if you aren't sure the number, it's all labeled here on the side. Plug that 10 in, and then that gives us our 300 here.
Right.
So 40, 260, and then like I said, we had a $10 charge, $10 refund, so it wipes it. So as long as that matches, we're gonna go ahead and print this sucker off. It's gonna start our paperwork. Yeah, just make sure you look at this number right here and not this one. This is Visa MasterCard. This is Visa MasterCard American Express. So that's the grand total. So always go off this number. Yeah. So that one's good. Next thing we need to do is pull White Rivers. And that should be this one here. And this one had a refund as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So there was, yep, $15 refund. So go through, plug that in there. And then, so we should be looking at 250 as our total.
750 you mean?
Yeah, 750. So I believe that's what it said. Yep. So we got 750. Go ahead and print that sucker off. And then we can plug it in. Cool. Now, so lots 51 through 54 are done. Last thing is the White River lot, which has its own credit card system. So we'll close these. Before we do that, we're going to save this, and this goes in whatever month it is, and then McKinsey. So we'll get to that here soon. You can just save it as is. Okay. If that comes up, just hit OK. All right. So the next thing we need is Calais or Flowbird, which they moved on to. This one's really easy. So when you get in here, just go to Reports and Statistics, Card Transaction, End of Date List. And then from here, you're just plugging in the 8th. Just make sure this says 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. It should stay. I've had one or two instances where it changed it on me, and yeah. So after that, you just hit apply, and then you look at these two numbers right here. So you got 515 and 73. Just plug them in. And then Control P. All right, next thing is citations. So once you get logged in, you just go to Reporting, Collections, and you go down here to Payment Count by Date. This is kind of the same as Calais. You're just plugging in the date. You don't have to worry about time or anything like that. Plug that in, go to PDF, and then Run Report. So we got one for 25. So for lot 55, you go to Violations, plug that in, and then this goes in Deposit 2. Deposit 1 is for Converge, which we'll show you here soon. Right here in a second. So that's good. Go ahead and did I print that off? No, I didn't. is done. Let's let this converge. So if anyone was to pay for bus parking or anything like that on the lot, or passes, or they need a refund, that's what converge is. So you don't have to check this every day if you're the only one doing it.
Right.
But seeing as how I'm kind of giving access to Woody, that way he can do his own stuff. You want to go in just to make sure he didn't forget to tell you.
Okay.
So we are missing something for a day. So yep, go to terminal. You're gonna lot, never touch the garage.
Right.
It should be disabled, but there's a possibility it's not. So since that's a different merchant ID than what's over there, yeah, corporate will be upset with you. So once you get in here, just go to settled batches, and then go to the current month or whatever month you're working on. So in here we've got the 8th. We don't see anything. If this were the 8th, you just click on the card data, and then you can click download receipt and then print that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, other than that, there's nothing there. And that's it for the 8th. So once you're done, go ahead and save this, and then we're gonna print this puppy off. Come on. Okay. Paperwork. So for paperwork, the DDR goes on top. Always make sure the top here goes to the left. That way everything's kind of uniform. And then the only thing you need to do is write in breaking down the Washington Street garages. So if you look on here, you got lot 51, 52, 53. Lot 51 had 40 in credit card. Lot 52 had 260. And then lot 53 had 0. So that's good. Go to 54, just write in 54 or whatever. That's good. And then whenever you have any outside stuff like citations, checks for validation, stuff like that, you're gonna write the lot number and then what it is. So this is lot 55, and this is violations. All right. So now that we're done with the daily paperwork for the 8th, we're gonna scan it.
And then do you email it?
You don't email it, no.
Scan it in.
You see, it's a portal. Yeah. So that's gonna be the next step. So that is done. Let's go to my email. Download this. And this is going to go in October monthly report. So the first one, the Excel spreadsheet, goes to October McKinsey. This is what you're going to use to create the monthly report at the end of the month.
Okay.
Which is something we're actually going to be doing here soon, like probably on Monday. So I can kind of show you how that goes together.
Cool.
Yep, just put in the month and the day. And the next step, we're actually going to move on to RMS, and then we'll upload it. So RMS is what corporate looks at to see your daily revenue. And then what we're going to upload next, they use that as the backup. Just to, that's how we prove we made the money or whatever, even though they can see most of the deposits. So the first thing once you get logged in is you're going to go to daily activity. And the daily activity is this top part pretty much. Yep. So first thing you do is select the lot, make sure it's on the correct date, and this was 40 on 2. As you can see, 40 on 2, nothing else. Just hit enter, and then submit. So move on to 52. It's 260 on 13 with nothing else for transient. And just remember when you're working on these, whatever column, it's always going to be below. So say we had event revenue, it's actually going to go down here. So I think my first few
here, and so you're putting an event in this one?
No.
But this is, well, I'm just saying, so this is monthly, this is event, this is Parkwood.
Yeah. So if you have event revenue, you're going to put it in this box below. Yeah. So, yep. So we are good. And this has a little summary. If you had more stuff, it add more to that list. But yeah. So that was good. For lot 53, we had a 10 in transient and then a $10 refund. So here we go, 10 in transient, and scroll down to refunds. 10 is 1. So that was good. Now for 54, for transient we had 265 on 74. And then we had a $15 refund. Yep. 15 on 1. What? I'm a turd. I thought I clicked 54. So that'll actually kind of show you something anyway. 4, 1. 5. This one was 515.73 transient, and then we had 1 violation for 25. That is good to go. So yep, like I said, the first thing we just entered was this top column here, or top rows, and now we need to add the deposits. And so after you're done, you're going to go to deposits.
Do the same thing over.
Yep. So you're going to put in the day of the deposit, and then you always put the next day in the second one. So the first thing we do for the ID is 68 dash the lot number. Typically, I go straight down, so I would do the cash first, and then I move on to credit card. Yeah, since it's just credit card, just skip right to it. 51. That's 40, and then all of the state garages and just the White River garage, it's going to be AR or accounts receivable credit card.
Is it always on that?
For lots 51 through 54.
Okay.
Yep. For the White River lot, it's Visa MasterCard.
Okay.
So you got to think of it is, does the money go straight to corporate, or does someone else handle it?
Okay.
So it's like all the state cash goes to the state treasurer, so we don't handle that. So it's accounts receivable.
Okay.
We handle all the cash for the White River garage and the lot, so that's cash checks. There's kind of the default one here, but I've got something though. You can see here shortly. Kind of help you. So yep. So you got the deposit amount in here, and then you got to go to the lot, enter the same one. I don't think it really matters where you put it. I always just put it at the top left here. Yep. After that's good, you hit submit. Now I like to keep it on this screen. If you want to have like a running total, you can just hit deposits. Yeah, I guess I'll do it once for you. Hold on. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. So once you click on the 8th, you're gonna see whatever you've entered previously. Okay. But so I don't have to like change the dates a whole bunch or wait for the page to load. You can, yeah. So 52, we've got 260. That's accounts receivable. That's good. Once you kind of the page, you know, kind of refreshes or what, you know, it's good. 53, we got 0, so it's 54, which is 750. That's good. That's 540. Sometimes I won't be paying attention. I'll just grab the World Pay thing, but I always make sure you go to the total. So 540. This is Visa MasterCard. Here's a list of everything. You're either going to be cash checks for White River, accounts receivable for state, Visa MasterCard for the White River lot, and then AR credit card for everything else. So, yep. So this is Visa MasterCard. That's the lot, and it's for 540. All right.
So like if we have a bank cash for White River, you put it in as cash checks.
Yes. For White River, yeah. Everything over here is accounts receivable. And then kind of think of it the same way as credit cards, except cash checks equals Visa MasterCard. Accounts receivable credit card is accounts receivable credit card, or A/R receivable. So you remember that little mistake that I made previously? Okay. So the third tab here is the summary. This is where it's going to balance it. So we go on here, click on the 8th. And if everything was perfect, this little post general ledger button would
Be ready to go.
yeah. So, but like I said, since it's not balancing, we can't submit it. So it'll tell you which lot it is. It's not balancing, so it's lot 53. You can do a few things now. Since I did it multiple times, I ran 2 separate submissions. It's gonna have it up here. I can just go in and delete that.
But if it's like just a number mistake, you put in the wrong number, you can hit edit and change it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll do that here in just a second. What was the 15? Yeah, we'll just delete that. Yep. So everything balances. I'll let you post. Yeah, if you want to edit, you can just go in.
So you put in 12
edit.
or something.
Yeah, you can go in there and do that. Then you'll just hit update.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep, that day is good. I always make sure I got the same number here as I do on the spreadsheet. So 1590. If you have any overshorts, it's not, you're gonna have to add or subtract this number from the overshort to equal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, everything's good. So we're gonna post it. Now, once you post it, corporate can see it.
Nice.
And then the last thing to do is to submit our backups. So we'll go in here. We're gonna do 68 revenue support. You're gonna go 2019 and October. You're gonna click these buttons over here. Upload. And then once you're in here, oops, too far. So you got these 2 files right here. So we'll go to October McKinsey. We're gonna grab the 8th. Just click open. Gonna upload that. And then the last thing is to upload the PDF for the monthly report. 8th. Yeah, that's it.
It's just one of those things where I'm gonna have to do it a couple times.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Be slow first, but
Once you get the hang of it, especially if it's only credit cards, man, you'll get it done.
And then especially if you're still working on the weekends, there's cash on a Sunday or something, it'll still be easy.
Yeah, like I said, I'll have the cash ready to go for you. So that way you can just literally just get it deposited. Yeah, always start with your credit cards.
Right.
Because if you have an event, you're gonna want that credit card total to match the report. So say we had an event and you already pulled the credit cards. So say we had 100 credit cards. While you're doing their event paperwork, say you add up all their credit cards and it adds up to something different, you're probably missing a report or something weird is going on. So it's always good to pull the credit cards first. So any other questions?
Nope.
Okay.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Just steps.
I haven't got the parkways. State parkways usually comes on the 5th. I think they forgot to send that to me.
So then once you get the state parkways, you have to go back and add it to the old days.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
And then so say you have to go back and add it, do you have to do all those steps again and resubmit everything?
Yeah, so what you'll have to do is you'll have to add, whatever new paperwork there is. So you're gonna have to change the DDR, reprint it, replace the old one, scan
Print
it.
out.
Yeah, and then you're just gonna go.
Scan it and add it to the.
Yeah, so you don't have to redo everything.
Is just adding the parkways.
Yeah, and then redoing the DDR, going back into RMS, editing it to reflect it, and then re-uploading the. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad.
I know it's not bad, but it's ridiculous.
So yeah, I think
So there's not a way for them to give us how many. So usually you get on the 5th for how many days?
For the last month, the previous month. So basically, yeah. So they for the state they wire them directly.
Right.
It's possible that it could be late. I don't know. It's just past few months. It's always been the 5th or 6th. But yeah, so we don't even see that money. We have to hear from John, who we're going to be going to see here soon. So, but yeah. So that's kind of it. Yeah, just making sure you're putting your deposits in, all your deposits, and then matching it with whatever it is. So I do have one that we're going to be taking to John today. We're going to just check
Okay.
The other thing is, when you get these checks, you're probably gonna know where they go. I just kind of know this amount from the JW is state monthly.
So, but the thing is, I could, if I don't know, I can just reach out to you.
Yeah. Once you get access to Parish, you'll be able to go in. You can literally search. Let me get that on my computer. I guess this is the whole one. So this is how I send it. But yeah, you can literally search the invoice number.
It'll tell me
which lot or location it is, and then from there you should be able to tell is it monthly, is it validations, stuff like that. But once you get the hang of it, once you get it, you'll just immediately know where it goes. So yeah, I think that's it. Anything else? Any questions I should put in the video?
I think you hit everything that stuff that, like, where you said do below the line, all that type of stuff, but that's already in there. So it was just like little knick-knacky stuff like that.
Yeah, like the big thing is setting this up correctly.
Right.
You see, like I said, converge payments go in deposit 1, and then violations go in deposit 2. What that does is at the end of the month, you can go to totals, and I can look and see. Oh, so far we've had for the month we've had 551 violation payments,
Right.
Or amount. So when you go to, let me do that real quick. So say I wanted to pull the 1st through the 8th. Now you'll be pulling, probably just the whole month, but yep. So as you can see, 551 matches the 551 we got on here. So yep. And it's gonna be, you can't really do daily credit cards like you used to. I used to be able to go into WorldPay and literally the 1st through the last day pull it, and then I'd match these totals too. So, but yeah. But you'll be doing that with Converge, ticketing. Let me think what else. I'm not thinking of it at the moment, but yeah. And then that way, whenever you're going through and looking at the reports, you can kind of just eyeball it and just kind of make more sense. So, all right. I do have an Excel file somewhere. It has this spreadsheet, and then it's got like Converge goes here, violations goes here. So I need to find that and send it to you. But yeah, perfect.